King Matic, King Matic. King Mary.
Activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, you guys know what the deal is. It is Double J's Wednesdays, and I got the one, the only mind of Jamal, brother from down under, brother from another mother. How are you doing here, sir?
I'm ready to fling. I want to apologize to everybody. I had computer system problem. My Wi-Fi shut down and wouldn't, so I had to tell Jermain to hold up, and Jermain had to wait for me to catch up. So for everybody, please forgive me for us being late. Then I got a troll who trolled my page and just, kept throwing all this stupid garbage all over the page. So now I got to go through and clean off about 60 comments this troll did because he don't like Israel.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of those guys out there. There's a whole bunch of those trolls out there who hate Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And claim to be conservative.
And claim to be conservative as well. Yeah. Hate gotta remove from your heart. It got to. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Okay, we're going to need your help, all right? Because we got this hot fire that I know you guys want to hear. We got an awesome show lined up for you, all right? Yeah, you see the way I'm smiling? Yeah, it's a good show.
Oh, yeah.
As usual. So make sure you help us out. You hit that like button. You make sure you share. You guys know the censorship is still here, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's still here. And it hasn't gone anywhere. I know they like to say, well, Jermain, it's dialed down just a bit. No, not too much. They're still out there censoring, let me tell ya. So I'm going to need your help. I need you to hit that like button. Make sure you guys do share, all right? We're probably one of the only podcasts that talk about the kind of stuff that we talk about, especially when we speak about what's going on with social issues referring to race. All right? Yep, that's a big issue. All right? So we're going to need your help. All right, brother, let me tell you something. Here in Minnesota, the cold has, basically arrived. We're on
Already?
the front steps of the cold. Right now, it's been about 55 all day. Tonight it probably dipped down to the 40s a little bit, and next month, gosh darn it, we're knocking on winter's doorstep, What can I say? It's the pleasures of living up north. But before you answer this, I want to go ahead and give some folks a shout out. All right. First shout out I want to go ahead and give to is Shane0316. Shout out to you. Gifted a subscription to Conservative Nation, and it was gifted to PNB 97220. Shout out to you guys. Absolutely. Let me go ahead and give you the customaries. Absolutely. Make sure you guys Absolutely. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. How is it in your neck of the woods before we begin, sir?
Man, you know what? It's been nice and it's been a lot cooler. Usually around this time, it'd be like 100, but boy, it's been feeling good. And I mean, good. So, you know what, Jermain? I am so glad. I want to wish my auntie, Miss Yvette Spillman, her husband, Mr. Lyle. I want to wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Lyle. Shane, I want to thank you for your kindness and generosity and donation to the page through PayPal. I want to thank Shane Terry for his kindness and generosity and donation through PayPal.
Absolutely. Shout out to you. Let me go ahead and give you the customaries as well. Shout out to you.
And of course, thank him for the gift membership. Those gift memberships go a long way. Those gift memberships go a long way. But Jermain, it feels good, man. I'm so glad I can sit in my truck at lunchtime without melting. It feels good.
I bet. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get rocking. All right. We're a little bit behind schedule, but don't worry. Don't you worry. We're going to get everything in. All right. First one up. I would like to discuss something that has been, I don't know if it's been bothering me, but I've been seeing it a lot lately in the media. And I believe it's a culture shift. Now, last week, I spoke about black men walking in dresses, right? We started in Atlanta, right? Yeah, and we showed you a couple of, a few black brothers. They were sitting over there, walking down the street. Some of them were posing, and they were wearing a skirt. They had the kilt on. You remember that, right? I had the kilt. I don't want to show the video embarrassed and hurt some folks' eyes again. So I'm gonna spare folks that type of image there. But the guys were wearing kilts, they were wearing skirts, some of them had some leggings on, you get what I'm saying, and they were just out there just hanging out, and after that we went to New Orleans. Apparently they had what they call a red run, where they had black men wearing red dresses. I kid you not.
Twisted and twirling and everything.
it was wild, let me tell you. So what can I say about that? You know, I was perplexed, you know. And now let me tell you something. I'm now seeing black men wearing wigs. I kid you not. Yeah. Yeah, they're not wearing male wigs. They're wearing female wigs. So I want to go ahead here and show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, this first video, all right, this video clip here got 1.8 million views, and this was put out 3 days ago. All right, and this comes from a young person here. They put this on there. I guess they were very, what can I say? They were very exuberant and happy about, you know, getting their you know, hair did. What? As a matter of fact, let me just play it and show you guys what I'm talking about here. And when it comes back, I want to speak about it. All right, because there's, you know, several of these that are out here that is making its rounds, and a lot of folks are having, you know, a lot of stuff to say about it, I should say. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Male wig installation for school. Now, in several parts of the country right now, there are kids going back to school. Here in Minnesota, school started this week. So there's a lot of children going back to school, first day of school. And let me tell you something, you can see a lot of their outfits on Facebook and on TikTok. All the parents, especially the mamas, they out there showing their kids. What can I say? That's a new trend. Back in the day, we never did stuff like that. But nowadays, I guess that's the trend. Showing your kids and where they go to school at. You guys got to be very careful about that. But that seems what's going on. I want to go ahead and run this. When I come back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. This kid says it's his first male wig installation. I want you guys to take a look at this because it is quite wild. Here we go.
His name was Zion. He was going to the 9th grade. This was his first week installed. And he had a bust down. He said his aunt got him a bust down and he was ready to give everything that it was supposed to give. So y'all know I was gonna bust all 34 inches down. By the end of the appointment, all I can say is I did my Y'all already know when I do it, it gets done. But to all the little ones going back to school, y'all have a good school year, y'all.
Bow. I'm gonna do it again because I got a few more videos I want to show y'all, and these videos been going viral. Nothing but black women, okay, black women playing in the hair of, you know, Indians or some Asians' hair while they put it on a black male head. Here we go.
His name was Zion. He was going to the 9th grade. This was his first week installed. And he had a bust down. He said his aunt got him a bust down and he was ready to give everything that it was supposed to give. So y'all know I was gonna bust all 34 inches down. By the end of the appointment, all I can say is I did my Y'all already know when I do it, it gets done. But to all the little ones going back to school, y'all have a good school year, y'all.
Bow. So you're seeing the boy. And shout out to Kelbella823 donated on Rumble. Shout out to you. Let me go ahead and give you the customary sweetheart. Absolutely. Shout out to you. So this is the first one here. You see this young black male having a wig installation. This is the type of stuff they were doing to young girls. This is the main reason why black women are running around bald right now. You get what I'm saying? They're running around bald because of this type of crap. And now you're seeing it on, black men, which is kind of crazy. What do you think about this here, sir?
It's a disgrace, and it goes to show you black women cannot raise black men. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So many people like to talk about this crap. Well, my mama, she raised me, and yeah, let's look at your screwed up life. I'm sorry. I get so sick and tired of people sitting up here saying that black women doing the best they can. No, they ain't. Because if they really doing the best they can, they would be with the children's fathers instead of this
Yep.
crap. This is downright nasty and horrible, and it's tearing black men down. I don't want to hear about revolution. I don't want to hear nothing, because this is what happens. The black community is now the new slaves.
As black
to the
people, we gotta do better.
Community.
Y'all
The black community has new slave masters now.
Yep.
It's not the white liberals per se. It is the GBTLQ community. They
Absolutely.
made Snoop Dogg
They're running
apologize.
it.
You remember that comment about Snoop? He did. He done apologized, saying he need to be more educated. He need to learn. And that Negro over 50-some years old,
Yeah,
he grew
he's
up back in
crazy.
the 90s and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the GBTLQ community got mad. Man, this stuff is bad.
It
This
is
is
bad,
horrible.
boy. You can't say nothing. You can't say nothing, Jamal. That it is very bad. Now, let me go ahead and show you another video here. Let me show you this video. Black women are behind it as well. The
Yes.
LGBTQ community knows that they have a home in the black community because it's ran by loudmouth, overweight black women. Let me go ahead and run this. I want you guys to see this. Here's another first male wig installation. Remember, I told you this is the new trend.
as black people, we got to do better. Y'all ought to work when it comes down to bringing
This
other
is
black
horrible.
people's
This
self-esteem
shouldn't
down, because y'all
even
may
be
not
a trend.
understand
It's just
what someone
horrible.
else may
Look
be
at
going
this.
through. Hair loss is a real thing, and everybody is not ready to
And then
lose their
black
hair.
women are,
And the
are
first
ready
thing y'all
to
come in
emasculate the guys.
give y'all unlicensed
Feminine
hairstyling opinion
They already don't
on
like
something
the
y'all
men.
don't know nothing about. I mean, absolutely nothing about, especially when it comes down to lace. Do y'all not know that they make this?
This mess.
They make the hair pattern on this type of hair. It would never, ever, ever look like somebody's real
And
replica of hair.
he got a beard.
This is for replacement, to give people back their confidence that they lost before they start losing their hair. And y'all coming on here critiquing people about something y'all don't have absolutely no clue about.
This
Men
woman
are
needs
now
to stop
starting
it.
to have
Yeah,
options.
you
when it
gonna
comes
see the way
down
he look
to their
at the
hair.
end.
Everybody do not
Don't you
take
worry.
hair loss well.
Oh,
So
let
if
me
there's
go
a way
get
for me
my-
to
let
boost
me
somebody
get my
else's
comment
self-esteem
ready.
up by
My
simply
comments ready.
installing a
Look
wig
at the
on
way
them,
he look.
I'm gonna do that. But don't
Look
break
at the
down
way
the
he
next person
look,
because you
ladies
can't
and
understand.
gentlemen. You look at the way he look. He look like a little black girl.
Toot.
Look at
Last
him.
train to Fagsville, leaving in
Yeah,
5
he
minutes.
look like he's
Leaving in
tooting
5
up his
minutes.
booty. You know he's tooting up his booty, Jamal. That booty is tooted up, let me tell ya. Look at him. Outrageous. I want folks to see this. Yeah,
Toot.
and look
Last
how
train to
happy he
Fagsville,
is
leaving in
with the
5
male
minutes.
the male wig installation. Here goes another one. That's why I talk about black men with long hair. I said most of them are raised by their mama. I don't make this stuff up, Jamal. I don't.
Yes.
Now, I have another one here that I want to go ahead and show you. Let me go ahead and raise my mic a bit here. I want you guys to take a look at this one here, because this one you're gonna be in shock about as well. Here's a black male.
This is what single parent homes are getting.
Here goes another one.
Dominated by black women.
This shit on the floor, but I want some more. This shit on the floor, but I want some more. Keep up with me.
Yep.
Bitches can't keep up
Let
with
me
me, and
turn
I'm
this
letting
down because I don't want any music content. Bow. You
and
see
you
that?
know they're flagged.
You see, that's why. You see, Jamal. You see how he's playing with the hair. That's how black women play with the hair that's not theirs, and they call it inches. You get what I'm saying? They're like, I got inches, and they start playing with that hair.
Or you know what, Jermaine? I'm gonna say this, and this is what I
Look at
heard
this.
Tommy Sotomayor say. Black women actually imitate trans men.
Yeah.
Because trans men are the ones, men who act like women. These men, trans, what black women try to do is act the extreme. So if you look at him and you look at all that, that's how black women act today.
Yeah.
So a lot of black women act that way. So thus, they are imitating a dude who is imitating a woman. If you look at the way Gorilla, you look at the way Cardi B, you look at them, all that hair and twisting and doing all that. No, you don't catch black women was acting like that. They won't until men start doing that.
Yep.
And then they start acting like men. But I would like to thank J9000. He gave you a gift membership.
Shout out J9000.
JW 1980 was gifted a membership to Conservative Nation.
Absolutely. Shout out.
But this is horrible, man. This is just downright horrible.
Absolutely. It's crazy. And I think it's mental illness.
Yes, it's beyond.
You know what I'm saying? It's mental illness. This person is playing in their hair, in hair that's not yours. And then on top of that, you have an unnatural color. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? It's not even black. It's not even a natural color. They get some crazy hair color. And then you got the fingernails and all this type of stuff. This is what first world does. When you live in the first world, you're able to do stuff like this, Jamal. If you're living in other countries, you're not worried about throwing on a pink hair hat and then dancing in front of TikTok and stuff like that. You're just not doing that. You're worried about where you're going to get your meal at. You get what I'm saying, Jamal?
You know what it ain't worried about? You know what? Palestine, they won't do that crap in Gaza.
Nope.
They won't do that stuff in Palestine. They won't. Because you know what'll happen? To the highest building you go, up, because they don't play clown. But take that with you on your way down.
Yeah. They'll drop you from the roof.
Yes.
They will drop you from the roof. So, I think that what needs to happen is that there should be a coalition and a force of doctors who aren't scared. You get what I'm saying? Doctors who aren't scared of getting their license taken away. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Because right now in our country, there's doctors who are scared. They're scared out their mind that if they go ahead and say anything that's sane, the Medical Board Association will come and take their license away. But I think what needs to happen is that Donald Trump need to get a coalition of doctors who ain't scared. That's what the coalition should be called. Doctors who ain't scared. And they sit there and they're able to effectively diagnose what's going on without fear of the liberal mafia coming after them. They can sit there and say, you know what, Jermain, this is what we call, what a gender dysphoria disorder. You get what I'm saying? And this leads to this, that, and the third, right? It leads to unstable mental health condition. This, that, and the third. They could go ahead and speak to this and how this will affect a person's outlook in life. You get what I'm saying? And we're able to get a real diagnosis. We're able to get real effective treatment of how we can, get these people help. But if we're not able to get these doctors that freedom, let me tell you, then gosh darn it, this will keep going on. There needs to be a mental health alert in this country. And any man that's running around with a wig on, you'll run around with wig and fingernail, nails on top of nails, hair on top of hair, we want to speak to you. We want to make sure that you're sane. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you go speak to Donald Trump about this right now, he'll do it. We need some folks to go and write in. There needs to be a mental health screening. If there's guys who are running around thinking that they are a woman, they need to be taken away. They need to. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Oh yeah, they gonna come after me for that one. Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about a rapper. Oh yeah, she goes by the name of Cardi B. She recently got out of court for an assault, I believe. I want you guys to take a look at this video here. Everybody and their mama's mama has been showing this video for a lot of different reasons, and I want you guys to see this here. All right, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go. Cardi B. Let me go ahead and show you guys this. She's exiting court, and I want you guys to see what she does. Here we go.
The dumbest broad.
Cardi, insiders are claiming that Offset is publicly bragging about getting you pregnant for the 4th time. Do you foresee any paternity issues with Stephon Diggs?
Stop disrespecting me. Don't disrespect me. Cardi, how you feeling?
Court look is amazing.
You're amazing. I still love you, even though you just do some stuff that.
Got out of court for
Don't
assault.
do that. Do you see women asking those type of questions to me? Do you see women asking those questions to me? Why do you feel as a man?
As a man, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. The pussiness of the men in America here. Bow. So Cardi B, black ghetto queen, right? Oh yeah, and yeah, she's a black ghetto queen. There's a lot of white women who like her, you know, and I like to speak to white women here for a quick second. White women out there. Now, I know black folks have a superpower. They're very influential, right? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Why do you think commercials and stuff use them all the time? Use them for jingles and everything. I don't make this stuff up. Black folks have a superpower. They're very influential. They can tap dance and everything, let me tell you. And I want to speak to the white women. White women out there. There's good black women and there's bad ones. Most of the bad ones are in the media. I want the white women to understand that so they don't follow the bad black women, because what I've been seeing is that there's a trend going on right now where there's a whole bunch of white women and they're following lead of the black women. You better stop it. You better stop it. Don't you follow the majority of black women. There's good black ones out there. They don't show them in the media. They show you the funky ones. They show you the ones that ain't good, let me tell you. So please, oh please, white women out there, use some sense. White men, you see them looking at Cardi B and stuff like that, you wrangle them up, let me tell you. You better, let me tell you. But besides that, let's get back to it. Black ghetto temptress, let me tell you. This woman went to court for assault. She gets out of court and she throws a marker at a reporter.
And they need to lock up. But
gosh darn it. If that would have hit him, it would have been assault. The irony, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, the irony. You just can't make it up. Brother, what do you think about this here?
Ghetto trash is ghetto trash, and that's all her music, and that's all she promotes is ghetto trash. Always remember, as a stripper, this woman was a stripper. As a stripper, she used to set men up to get robbed. People forgot she used to drug men.
Absolutely.
Because she knew she's very attractive. Men gonna want to sleep with her. She would drug them up and she would rob them. This woman shouldn't even be walking around. Imagine if there was a man who was out here bragging about how he would drug women up and sexually assault them and sleep with them.
Yep.
If that would have been happening, he would have been locked up. They would have found somebody that he did that to. Okay? Who to say that the person who she did that to didn't die from that?
Yep.
Cardi B is trash, okay? Cardi B is trash, simple and plain. And what they're doing, they keep trying to shape and mold white women. Every time you look in history, okay, let's tell the truth. They have got liberal white women to go to the extremities of whatever they want them to do. Okay? They want white women to always go to the extreme of what people want done. And any white parents that they daughter listening to Cardi B need to walk in there and slap their daughter, take that Cardi B out of their system, break whatever iPod they listening to, and tell their daughter that ghetto trash ain't coming in our home. I don't even allow that ghetto trash in my home, and I'm black.
Yep. And what really blows my mind is the way Cardi B and most women can go up to a guy and say, hey, how can you go ahead and say that to a woman? How can you ask that of a woman? And the guy just, backs away and he becomes pussified. I just don't understand it. That guy asked a question that a lot of folks, are wondering. Men don't do this. Men don't say, hey, I can't believe this woman asked me a question. How you going to ask a man a question like this? Men don't do this. But for some reason, we allow it on the other end. It just blows my mind. And it shows you that a lot of women don't respect men. They don't like them. And you can tell by the media. And they don't respect them. That's why they're able to speak like that. And the men in this country, let me tell you something. A lot of them, most of them nowadays are raised by their mama. By design. And they have been pussified. Men won't come to other men's defense. They'll come to somebody who will just make an allegation with no proof. They'll go to that person's defense before they come to a man's defense. It just blows my mind. So that's where we're at here in our country. I want folks to know that's where we're at, where a woman can get off out of court, right, for assault, and then pick up something and throw it at somebody, and basically commit an assault. And nobody say nothing. It just blow my mind. Yeah, that's why I said, we all have challenges in life, right? Men, we have certain challenges. Women, they have certain challenges. And let me tell you something. When you see stuff like that, you know that women get, a little bit easier of the brunt of the stick here. They certainly do. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Yvette Romick Spillman gifted 1 subscription to Conservative Nation. Let me go ahead and give you the customary shout out to you. And Sin Napier was gifted. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move forward.
Jermain,
Make sure, yes, sir.
I just want to say this before
ahead.
we left with Cardi B.
Go ahead.
Cardi B sitting up here saying that didn't your mother teach you to respect women? Yes.
Yeah.
My mama taught me to respect a respectable woman, but she don't respect no hoes. Okay? My mama taught me long time ago, you don't respect a woman in the street. She made songs called WAP. She the one who makes songs about stripping. And let's not forget, that was a legitimate question. That was a question.
It was a
Cardi
legitimate
B
question.
Sleeping with 2 men at the same time. So yes, do people ask women those questions? Yes, because there is a show out called I forget, with the black woman.
Real Housewives. Any black show you can name, any real TV black show got that BS going on.
And she let men know they're not the father, and she sent them there, and the men like, you are not the father. And she's a black woman, she's a judge, and they got paternity tests and stuff like that. This is because of people like Cardi B. This is because of their action, and they perpetuate that so they can get young white girls, and they can continue the dissolve of the nation.
Yep.
They ain't gonna get Asians. They ain't gonna get Indians. Latinos is pushing back against it.
Yep.
But they can get black and white. The degeneracy is here.
Yep, the degeneracy is here. And you can tell, Jamal, too. You can tell how screwed up America is, where you get a woman like this and she's not married and she potentially is pregnant by, her ex-husband and a new guy. And that's the state of a lot of women in our country. They're in that state there where they're sleeping with multiple men, and they get mad that they're not getting adequate suitors. You're not gonna get adequate suitors if that vagina is everywhere you look. Let me tell you. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up. Oh yeah, next one up. We're gonna speak about Minneapolis, Minnesota, actually. The DFL is now barred from endorsing a mayor. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
5 on the clock, and developing in the race for Minneapolis mayor, the Minnesota DFL announced it's revoking Omar Fateh's endorsement. And today we're expecting more details on the reason behind their decision. Michelle Beck joins us in the studio with a closer look at what happens next. Michelle.
Well, good morning to you, Jason. We are expecting the state DFL to release a full report sometime today, but already stripped of an endorsement, Omar Fateh's campaign is calling this disenfranchisement. This is what we know from this draft report released by the state DFL in the last 24 hours. Its Rules Committee found the electronic voting system used by the Minneapolis DFL was, quote, substantially flawed. It said 176 votes were not counted on the first ballot, and that caused ripple effects for the July convention. So here's what revoking an endorsement means. For one, Fateh loses access to DFL resources for his campaign. The Minneapolis DFL is also barred from endorsing anyone for mayor this year.
This is something that they normally wouldn't do, and I've been through this process before. Then that means that there was overwhelming evidence that they needed to vacate the endorsement. We have to make sure it's efficient and that it's fair, and it didn't seem like that was the case.
That brings us to today at noon. We'll see a protest at City Hall from people who say they are committed to electing a new mayor. And Jason, I can tell you that they are frustrated that the state DFL has stepped in, overturned this endorsement, and that they overturned a democratic process by city delegates. And so we're seeing this kind of city versus state tension happening here.
Yeah, a lot of tension here.
Wow. So let's go in and stop it right here. So Omar Fete, for folks who don't know who that is Ilhan Omar's brother. All right. Oh yeah, the diaper lady got a brother, and that brother is running for mayor in Minneapolis. Okay, and what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is that the city DFL, Minneapolis DFL, they got caught. They got caught running with a crazy machine. Right? The machine was doing some crazy stuff. And now they are barred from endorsing a mayor. Now, that to me is very serious. It really is. The machine messing up, it didn't count 176 votes. That is serious. Now, had that of just went through and not have gotten caught, he would have, skated right through. But right now, he's crying. I want to get your take on this. I don't believe that this is just an isolated incident.
No,
I
it's
believe
not.
that this incident, in a sense, is just something that they just got caught on. I believe that they probably been doing this for a while. What do you think about this here, sir?
Well, number one, it goes to show that the Dominion voting machines, of course, could be touched. Number two, it goes to show you that it is a coordinated effort to disenfranchise white voters. And for anyone that is white that is sticking around the Democrat Party because you believe it was the party of the poor and helping people, and you remember JFK and all that, you remember Bill Clinton, this ain't that party again. That's not that party. This is a party that openly shows their contentment for white America, the contentment for the nation of what white people built in Western civilization, which is European. Okay? You're dealing with a bunch of Somalis who come from a country where they torture, they do arranged marriage.
Yep.
Ilhan Omar
They'll
married
kill
her
you for
brother.
nothing. Let me tell you.
Yes. If they promise your marriage, marry you to marry this goat herder so they can get 50 sheep and 50 goats, if they promised and you don't marry them, you better, where you gonna run to? You run into America, because America's not gonna extradite you. So the DFL, the Democrat Farm Labor Party, is corrupt. They rigged that election so they can have a person of color.
Yep.
White folk are going to pay for this, and they gonna ruin the day they allow people of color to run wild like this.
Yep.
Color folk.
Color. Let me tell you, that's what they about. They about color.
Yes.
In Minneapolis there, Riverside, let me tell you something, is like Somali land over there. A lot of fighting. And the fighting is because a lot of the Somalis come from different clans. Okay, that's something that isn't told there. Different clans, different groups, they click up, and pretty soon they're fighting. All right. Yeah. They're fighting, and they're not just fighting with sticks and rocks. They're fighting with hands, feet, and guns. Let me tell you. So that's what it is right now. I believe if we, in a sense, as a nation, start looking at a lot of these machines, we will come to this type of conclusion that they're all screwing up like this. You know, they need to go back to ballots, paper ballots. Though that is true and tried, effective method of getting our folks in and also making sure that there's no cheating. But, we're in this new age here where they're trying everything. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up here, I want to speak to you guys about the media and what's going on with this Minneapolis school shooter. The media has been doing a terrible job. Terrible, let me tell you. The media, since they found out that the shooter was trans, the shooter had a manifesto, the shooter talked about hating Israel and killing Trump. Mm-hmm. Since all those things were manufactured by this kid in this situation here, they've been really not trying to speak about it. When they speak about it, they don't even mention these facts that are very important to it. It's like a quick gloss over the important things, and then they start speaking about gun control. They're not speaking about all the really intricate details that really make up why the shooter did what they did and how we can stop it as a society, right? They're just jumping into the narrative that they want. Now, Sky News, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Sky News, they do a fantastic job in doing their reports. They have actually, found this to be true, that the American media has been glossing over the Minneapolis school shooter as well. And I want you guys to hear this. When it comes back, I want to speak about it because I think this is a big thing here in this country. It's a very big thing that when stuff like this happens, and it happens to go against the national media, right? And the national media is ran by liberals. They just don't talk about these intricate details. I want to go ahead and run it. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Of the shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic church where students at a back-to-school mass at the Annunciation Catholic School, where at least 2 children have died and 17 more were injured. Now, frankly, it's really too horrible to contemplate here, but we have to talk about it because this story, this tragedy, has sadly become political. Now, this individual, Robin Westman, has been identified as the shooter. But because Robin identified as trans and posted a long, violent manifesto about his transgenderism and regrets and hatred of Donald Trump and Israel and the Jews and the Catholic Church and a billion other things, well, that's created a bit of a problem for the media. This American ABC report was typical.
We've also been going through it and can tell you there are crude diagrams of the church. There are also photos of the weapons, and they include all sorts of writings, the names of past mass shooters, criticism of Israel, the name of President Trump written on the guns. There are also racial slurs.
The name of President Trump, racial slurs. You can see what they're doing here. They're trying to suggest maybe Westman was some sort of alt-right white supremacist MAGA fan. But what did the ABC leave out? Westman had written the words, "Kill Donald Trump," on his
Wow.
I don't know. I kind of think that's important, for context, right? The New York Times, of course, was just as bad. They wrote, quote, "On social media, some conservative activists have seized on the shooter's gender identity to portray transgender people as violent or mentally ill. The right-wing uproar over Ms. Westman's gender identity echoed the politicized reaction to a 2023 mass shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, which was carried out by a former student whom the police said was transgender. In a news conference, Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis, a Democrat, urged the public to avoid scapegoating transgender people," unquote. So, you see what they did there? They did the right thing at the start by clearing up confusion about Westman's gender identity, but the paper was so afraid of the conclusions its readers might draw that it surrounded the report with layer after layer of messaging. So, like, if you paid the attention to the gender issue, they're saying, well, don't do that, because if you do that, you're a bigot, right-wing and a conservative activist.
Yep, you're a bigot.
And they also reminded you that Jacob Frey, a Democrat, so pay attention, urged against scapegoating. All this while insisting others politicized the shooting. Well, no, sorry, I'm not going to let that slide. But it wasn't just the media. Local Democrats and officials were also in on the game.
Yeah.
Here's the local police chief, Brian O'Hara.
Listen to this guy.
I have no information to share on a motive other than saying, again,
he's a liar.
Manifesto that was timed to come out on YouTube. It's been taken down, and our investigators are going through that to try and develop a motive from that.
Ah, yes, the old, we may never know the motive routine.
We don't know the motive, I'm sure.
I know. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar was just as bad.
She's a bad woman, too.
Did extraordinary things, but they never should have been put in that position in the first place. This was a madman. He was an all-purpose hater, by the way. Hated groups left, right, you name it.
It's a lie.
Ideology on this.
Complete lie.
Nothing to see here. No politics involved. And Mayor Jacob Frey, as the Times suggested, well, here he is.
I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community.
By the way, this is a picture of Frey 5 years ago, tearfully kneeling at the golden coffin of George Floyd.
Yeah.
So
look at
how something about where he's coming from.
Kneeling at George Floyd coffin. Let me go ahead and stop it right here. So, brother, as you can see, shout out to Sky News. That was fire. You see, they did a fantastic reporting. You see, we got to go to outside the country to get good reporting. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, they don't report good in this country.
Sky News.
They don't report good at all. That's why most folks don't watch the news anymore. They don't report good at all. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, right? Remember I said that they're not really trying to speak about what's going on. They're just like glossing over it, right? Oh, yeah, this person was crazy. Amy Klobuchar. Oh, this person is just crazy. He hated groups on the left and the right. No, what? Hold on. What?
Huh.
Yeah, they don't even speak about the word that says kill Donald Trump. Nothing. They're scared, ladies and gentlemen, that this, everything that they're doing to push for a new group of folks in this country, which is the trans folks, right? This is a new demographic for the liberal party, for them to get votes and also to destroy America. It's a what is it called? It's like a 2-tier plan. You get what I'm saying? The first tier is to destroy America, and the second tier is to create a new voting bloc. That's why the liberals do it. They're very evil like that. They're super evil. Right? They will have as many trans folks as they can get. That means that they get pulled away from, the other folks, and they'll vote for them. I want folks to understand that. That's the way they think. They're very Luciferian like that. Brother, what do you think about this here and what this report is saying?
Let me correct you on something you said, Jermaine.
Go ahead.
Correct you on something. You said how horrible the media is and how they're failing. No, they're not. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
Oh,
they're supposed to cover for the Democrat Party. Let me say this.
That's true.
We're not dealing with the fair media. You had to go to Sky News, which is based in Australia.
Yep.
I
know, right?
When it comes to covering events, they were the ones who was talking about how bad Joe Biden mental decline was before CNN, MSNBC, before Joe Biden got on the stage with Donald Trump and he made him look like, oh my God, what is this? Sky News was talking about it in Australia. Okay, so let's get back to American press. The American press doing their job, and their job now is to cover for the Democrat Party. Their job now, whatever the Democrat Party says, they go along with and they agree with. They are constantly doing this. Now, this is nothing new. This is what they do. Excuse me, this is what they do. This is what they do. They sit here and they cover it up. This is not the first time they cover. Remember the Nashville shooting? They didn't want to know. They didn't want to know about the arm. It don't matter his gender. Yes, it do, because he's not a male. He's a man dressed up as a woman taking hormones, and it makes your mind go off. You cannot play with mind-altering drugs. That's changing you physically. And when people let you know they don't accept you, rightfully so, we don't have a right. I'm not going to call you ma'am. You a sir. I'm not going to call you sir. You a ma'am. And if you can't deal with it, tough.
Yeah. You know, these mind-altering drugs, because that's what a lot of the hormones do. They change your mind. I want folks to understand it, right? A lot of these guys who are transitioning to women, they go and take the estrogen. You see how crazy women are. Women, you know what I'm talking about. You know how crazy you are, right? Y'all insecure and stuff like that. That's why you wear hair on top of hair and nails on top of nails. You know how crazy y'all are. Imagine going sane to being crazy. I'm telling you, that's something, women. Let me tell you, it's something. And that's what the guys are doing. They coming into your craziness. And when they come into your craziness, a lot of times they can't take it. You get what I'm saying? They start turning into a woman. They start worrying about their nails. They start worrying about their hair and the way their face looks and everything else. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Jamal, do they bleed down there, the guys?
They try to cut these surgeons who do this type of surgery, who cut men penises off to try to make them a clitoris, need to be treated as mad scientists. Dr. Joseph Goebbels.
They need to. It's crazy. So when you get the guys who are changing into that type of makeup, you know, they're not gonna think well. They're not. You know, well, women know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you feel crazy, don't you, women? Yeah, I've seen. Trust me, I've seen my mom, sister, wife. I've seen all y'all act crazy. Yeah, sometimes you wake up, you just don't want to wake up. Women know what I'm talking about, you know. But that's what it is. And when these guys are taking these type of drugs, you know, you just can't trust them. You just can't. Now, I want to go ahead and show you guys this here. So we spoke about the media's inadequacy, right? When it comes to reporting the news effectively. They're not very good at all. Now, there's a woman here who is responding to the Catholic school shooting, and she's getting a lot of hate for it, all right? She's responding to what Donald Trump said the other day, all right? President Donald Trump, I should say. And I want you guys to take a look at this. She goes by the name of the diaper lady. I'm sorry about that. Ilhan Omar. You liberals out there, I am so sorry. You know, sometimes I think I'm just by myself, you know, and, you know, maybe that's not a good thing to think about when I'm by myself. But anyway, I want to go ahead and run this, and when it comes back, we shall discuss it. Make sure you guys do us a favor, a small favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? Absolutely. Ilhan Omar, diaper lady, responding to the Minneapolis school shooting. I want you guys to take a look at what she is saying here. We shall see if she's doing the tap dancing. Let's see. Because I bet she probably tap dancing. Let's see it.
I mean, it's really unfortunate that we have people, like him speaking on this. You know, at one moment he talks about the fact that the evil, murderous person who took 2 angels from us and harmed our community for a really long time. He talked about their transgenderness, and then he says that shouldn't really matter. At one moment, he attacks you for fake news in addressing actual statistics. Another moment, he talks about needing, mental health support, making sure communities have threat assessment. You point out that DHS has taken away those resources, and our communities don't have that kind of support. And then he screams at you and says it's not the responsibility of the federal government to assist the states. These people are all over the place because they want to deflect from the reality, which is that there was someone who came in to that school through the window and assassinated 2 beautiful angels as they prayed and put 14 other children in the hospital who are still fighting for their lives. And it is important for us to make sure that we are offering a slew of solutions. One is to make sure that we are getting rid of assault weapons in our
assault
community.
Weapons.
2, that we are addressing mental health
Let me tell you.
issues if there are some. And yes, as a community, it is important for us to say something when we see something, when somebody is exhibiting signs that there could be a problem.
Send her
ahead,
back to
that we
Somalia.
talk to
I
them,
really
that we
wish
get them the
Donald Trump would
assistance they
be
need,
as mean
and
as
that, yes,
people
we do
say.
alert
I would load
law
her up on a
enforcement.
truck and
But
send
this
her
is
to
not the
Somalia, let her
moment
deal with the men
to
in
point
Somalia.
fingers at people. It is time for us to come together and figure out what the actual solutions are so that there are no more dead angels in our communities.
You are calling for this assault weapons ban, which is something that Democrats have pushed for years. But even when your party has had control of the White House and both chambers of Congress, they still can't get this done. They couldn't get it done when Barack Obama had a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate. Why is that? And why should voters think it would be any different if Democrats had control again?
Well, I do hope that this moment is not about Democrats or Republicans, that this is not about our political ideology, but it is about figuring out how do we safeguard the lives of our children. You know, Brianna, as a mother, I know that my youngest one, who's still in
because it's just a normal answer. You know, they got Ilhan Omar up there just to sit there and run her lips about gun control. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what it seems like it's about here. It's about gun control. They're still pushing this narrative of gun control, which is quite crazy. They will only mention mental health, but they will speak about gun control. What's crazy to me is that we don't have Republicans who are standing up and saying, how about we speak about how these drugs, especially these gender drugs, these hormones, are changing these people's brains and the way they look at it. I'm upset that Republicans aren't doing that. And they're allowing the narrative to, persist, which is we need more gun control. No, we don't. We need Americans to understand that what's going on with gender dysphoria is a real deal. That folks go crazy when it comes to changing genders. I don't care who gets upset and mad. And it's almost like these folks are scared of the gay mafia. You just can't say what the truth is, Jamal. You just can't. What do you say to this here? Ilhan Omar is saying that we should be speaking about assault weapons ban. I don't know what to say.
Jermain, I'm going to say this right now. They tried the assault weapons ban. Didn't work. When they did the 1994 crime bill, that is what brought crime down. Because if you was a 3-time felon, you had a mandatory 10 years.
Yep.
It won't the same felony. If you got 3 different felonies, you did a carjacking, that was a felony. Then you sold dope, that was a felony. Then you got caught selling some dope again. You got a mandatory 10 years in prison. That is what broke crime down, not the gun control. But Ilhan Omar is from a country that if she was to go back, they would probably burn her at the stake.
Oh, you know it.
She's married to a white guy. She pals around with the GBTLQ mafia. They're not having that in Somalia. And hearing her, just to hear her out, this is the woman who said something happened on 9/11, because 9/11 will be here in 8 days. This woman said something happened on 9/11 and Muslims, and her concern was Muslims on that day.
Yeah.
America's getting what it paid for. And if it wants to keep allowing people like her to go to Congress, it should be a law. If you're not born in America, you cannot serve in Congress.
Yeah.
If you can't be president, you shouldn't be able to serve in Congress.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to. I just never understood that.
Whatsoever. If you were not born in the United States, you should not be able to write laws, dictate laws, and vote on laws for Americans. Because everybody wants to say, well, it could be somebody who really love America. No, it's never someone like that. They want to take us to the country they ran from.
She don't even want to go back to her own country. She should with her black eyes. Let me go ahead here and show. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This is the manifesto that was put out by the shooter. And I'm just playing a little bit because this will show you his mental state and what the true motive is. I mean,
this message brought to you by BlackRock and ExxonMobil, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Now, what the media doesn't want to also share is that apparently this man's father worked for a 3-letter agency.
he and I had.
This is what they're saying.
A brief conversation, but like we agreed on a lot of things. So y'all should vote for Brandon Herrera for president, and Vintage Warfare promotes love and peace and accepting differences. Tomorrow, I'm sorry to my family, but that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Fuck those kids. Skibbity, skibbity. Shit.
So, this is the manifesto here. Here's some other stuff here I'm going to show you.
Why so curious?
Where's your fucking God now?
The agency here, they have done a fantastic job scrubbing online, because it's almost as if you can only get certain information. They've done a good job scrubbing. Shout out to the CIA.
Gang.
They've done a fantastic job scrubbing. So there you go. And I want to go ahead here and start. You see he put fart nigga on there. Rip and tear. Hold on, let's go back. Killer sadist. Black Rock, sponsored by BlackRock. So this should make folks, in a sense, use a little bit of their head here. Now, why would this young, boy here be talking about sponsored by BlackRock, killer sadist, and all these things here? Jamal, it make me think that this, this shooter is what they call, one of these, false flags, these sleeper agent cells, these type of folks that cause dismay in our society. They're usually put on, and how can I say, they're set up by the alphabet boys a lot of the time, and I don't like to push any conspiracies. I just like speaking on, facts that are right in front of us. But I just want to put this out here that there is, ladies and gentlemen, there is groups in our country and in our government that want to cause dismay in our public. They want to push an agenda. And a lot of them, what they do is they will set stuff up like this, in a sense. They will have ex-CIA agents, have children, have babies for this exact purpose. And then what they do, ladies and gentlemen, is they go ahead and they ritually abuse them. I know it sounds crazy, right? They ritually abuse them. Some is SRA, satanic ritual abuse. Some of it is, some sort of, MK Ultra type stuff, where they're able to program, in a sense, another identity in inside of the person. Yeah, this goes into psychology. Has anybody seen the movie? I don't know. It's by a redheaded woman. She's a psychologist, and there's a killer, and he has 6 souls inside of him. 6 different personalities, right?
You're talking about the guy who plays Professor Xavier?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Samuel
about.
Jackson.
Yeah. So what happens is that these different identities can be recalled and controlled. Okay, this is what gets into MK Ultra and these type of things. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and Google it. It'll blow your mind on how they use trauma to create these false identities inside of a person. And they're able to program these identities and then hide them in the person's personality, and then recall them through certain words, certain actions, certain movements. And then they go out and do stuff like this. CIA call it sleeper cell. So I'm wondering if a lot of these things that are going out like this, where they're having these type of people do stuff like this, is part of that. Last words on this here, sir.
Jermain, I'll be honest. I don't believe none of that. This boy was crazy. This boy was crazy. I don't believe in the Black Rock conspiracy stuff. This boy was crazy. He was sick, and he just wanted to bring all the craziness to have people still talk about his crazy ass once he gone. Okay, this boy, and I say it again, this boy, crazy man, wanted to go target Christians. Okay, that's what he went and he targeted. He targeted Christians. Okay, he targeted them. He wanted, and he did it, and he purposely targeted places where they can't shoot back. You never notice when they want to stand up and do some, they never seem to go for a place they can shoot back. They never go out in glory. They never want to go out in a blaze of glory. No, they want to take as many innocent people. This was a trans. He was 2 sandwiches short of a picnic basket. He was crazy.
Yeah.
And he shot. There's no I don't care if his daddy was CIA and his granddaddy was granddaddy was J. Edgar Hoover. This boy was crazy. And
you ain't lying about that.
He was evil.
I'm telling you, absolute craziness. Absolute craziness. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. Yeah, look at all this. 6 million wasn't enough. Look at this. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you, it'll be crazy. Yeah. Next one up here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak about President Trump's mission right now. He's trying to keep American streets safe. Okay, and I'm in support of that mission. I need him to come to Minneapolis too. You come and get the Negroes from the street here as well. Yeah, the ones who are just sitting there selling weed and they got a pistol in their pocket trying to get you. I need you to come and get them. I want to go ahead here and show you guys this video here on President Trump planning to send troops to Chicago. Big deal. Big deal. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlan.
And I'm Erica Sargent. We're going in. Today, that's how President Trump framed the next steps for federal forces coming to Chicago. Late today, Governor Pritzker gave new details on National Guard deployments.
And political reporter Chris Ty here now with the very latest on a busy day and also what's next.
There's a lot of what's next here, Joe and Erica. The governor, citing unnamed sources, says staging by ICE and the National Guard is already underway. The governor outlining tonight how some members of the Guard deployed to Los Angeles are now headed to Chicago. But some say the governor has his facts wrong. As the president says, it's no longer a matter of if, but when.
Staging that has already begun started yesterday and continues into today.
Mobilization already underway, according to Governor Pritzker.
In the coming days, we expect to see what has played out in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. to happen here in Chicago. It is likely those agents will be with ICE, Customs and Border Patrol, the Department of Homeland Security, and other similarly situated federal agencies.
Some agents in militarized vehicles already here, with a ramp-up and rollout expected by the weekend.
He just wants his own secret police force that would do publicity stunts whenever his poll numbers are sinking, whenever his jobs report shows a stagnating economy, whenever he needs another distraction from his failures. That's what this is about.
State officials believe Mexican Independence Day events may be targeted by ICE agents, suggesting Texas National Guard teams are already being deployed here. But late today, Texas Governor Greg Abbott saying that's not true. The president today using Chicago's violent Labor Day weekend as rationale for activation.
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in.
Yep.
Over the last 2
He
days,
going in.
That was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed. And
Over the
50
weekend.
hit with bullets. So in the last 3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world.
And most of
Chicago
them
is a
are
hellhole
black.
right now.
All this coming just hours after a federal judge ruled the president's deployment of
folks don't
troops
know
to
how to
Los
act
Angeles
well.
back in June violated federal law.
I'm telling
in short,
you,
defendants
it's
violated
gonna be
the
a white
Posse
man, they'll
Comitatus
say
Act,
black
according to the
folks.
judge.
I've
Moreover,
said
he
it.
wrote, President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have stated that their intention to call National Guard troops into federal service in other cities across the country, thus creating a national police force with the president as its chief.
Although the president does have limited, and I repeat, limited authority to deploy the National Guard to help federal law enforcement in specific circumstances, none of these circumstances exist in Chicago.
And I'm going to stop it right here. So Donald Trump is going to send the troops to Chicago. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, we're going to clap for that. You know, the Negroes over there need help. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Negroes need help in Chicago, and Donald Trump is sending the troops there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing the Chicago mayor, you're seeing Governor Pritzker, you're seeing the AG. They don't want Donald Trump there, and they don't want him there because it makes them look bad. Yeah, imagine Donald Trump get there and then all of a sudden crime stop. Right? Record arrest, crime stop. Then you start looking at Governor Pritzker. You start looking at the mayor. You start looking at them and asking, how come you couldn't do it? They don't want those questions being asked by their constituents. They don't want it. So they're trying to do whatever they can to stop Donald Trump from coming, and he gonna come. And if I was Donald Trump, I'd come, and I'll come with a news crew of my own. It would be called the Trump News Crew. You get what I'm saying? I want to waste my time with the local news. I'll have my own news crew, and what we'll be doing is we'll be running a campaign while we're down there. We'll be arresting folks up, right? We'll be taking pictures of folks being arrested. And then we'll go to the citizens and we'll say, hey, how do you like walking down the street without a Negro asking you for a cigarette? Yeah. How do you like walking into a store without somebody asking, hey, can I bum a square? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. Brother, you know what I'm talking about, right? You get tired of them fools outside of the store doing stuff like that. When Donald Trump come, them Negroes are gone. Let me tell you, they ain't asking you for any spare change. They ain't asking you for a square, and they ain't trying to rob you. Let me tell you. You know what I'm talking about. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and show you guys this. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want you guys to hear a resident that was interviewed by CNN of all folks, right? Of what they think about Donald Trump and the troops coming to Chicago. Now, this is just CNN. I want you guys to listen to the guy that they're interviewing. Take a look at this. Here we go. Make sure you share.
9 family members to gun violence. Only one of my family members made it to be in his 40s.
Cedric Hawkins is now 44. He works with the anti-gun violence group Chicago Cred, trying to make peace before things turn violent, sometimes between gangs.
Is just trying to be able to obtain a non-aggression agreement. That don't mean that I don't still feel like that you deserve to die. That just means that right now we have a respect level, and the respect is, I don't like you, you don't like me, I ain't gonna come in your hood, you don't come in my hood.
And that is good enough.
And that's good enough.
And in his Southside Chicago neighborhood, he takes pride in even that compromise because it means results.
Last year we had 4 individuals murdered in the Pullman area at this time.
Yeah.
This year, 2025, we haven't had 1 individual murdered this year.
President Trump has threatened to want to send in the National Guard. You feel like even just like the presence of military here?
Presence of military will put our communities in a situation where they feel like they are incarcerated. We are already in a situation in Chicago where the trust with CPD, law enforcement, is very, very low. He's gonna do nothing but put our communities in Chicago in a situation where the trust is gonna go lower than it already is.
It might throw off the playbook that it sounds like
is working.
Citywide, murders are down over 30% compared to last year, and shootings are down almost 40%, which is on pace to be below pre-pandemic levels of violence. But that's still over 250 lives lost.
Right now.
Wow, and I'm going to stop it right here. So here's the first one, brother. So this black man is saying that if Donald Trump shows up with the troops, they're going to feel like they're back in prison. This is what he's saying. What do you say to that? He's not talking about, the safety. He's not talking about, him wrangling up the criminals. He's just talking about black folks feeling like they're in prison. And what CNN is also running and saying, which I just don't believe, they're talking about how, Chicago crime is down 40% and this, that, and the third. They're saying violent crime is down. Everything's down. What do you say to this?
58 people shot, 8 killed in 3 days over a holiday weekend.
They say it's down though, Jamal.
Not normal.
That's
down,
it's down, Jamal.
If that's down, oh my God,
it's
the
down,
troops
Jamal.
should
That's
have
what
been
they
in there
said.
a long time ago. Okay, let me say this right now, Jermain, and we're gonna look at it from a health standpoint of view. If you have bad heart disease and diabetes, and you weigh 400 pounds, and you go back to the doctor and you say, "See, doctor, I can eat cheeseburgers. I worked out. Can I go back to eating cheeseburgers?" Guess how much I weigh now, doc? 384 pounds. Yes, you lost 16 pounds, but you still on your way to the grave.
Yep.
Okay? Nobody in their right mind will sit here and say Chicago violence is going down when you had 58 people shot, 8 dead. That's not. And I said this, Jermaine, President Trump ought to let them know. Brandon Johnson, the mayor.
Yep.
If
Johnson's a
one
fool.
child dies, he said, you know what? I won't send the National Guard. If one child dies of a drive-by shooting or shooting, I'm going to charge you with violating that child's civil rights because you had a chance to protect that child, you didn't. If one person dies in Chicago in the next 30 days, I will charge you both with violating that person's civil rights. The same thing they did when they went after the men who were responsible for the deaths of those college students in the 1960s when they went down to Mississippi. Everybody seen Mississippi burning. Those men got 8, 9, and 10 years, but they went to prison. They served time.
Yeah.
Put these politicians who allow this stuff, who have these policies and vote, make them responsible for the death their policies call. Jermaine, if I sit here and give a child a gun, a loaded gun, and he goes out here and shoots someone, the court's not going to charge the child. They're going to charge me because they say as a parent, you should know better. They're not going to charge. The people want to do whatever they want to and not be held accountable. That's what black folk want to do. It is up to the politicians to say, no, you niggas crazy. We ain't going to allow you to do that. Y'all niggas going to jail.
Yeah.
And Brandon Johnson needs to be charged with denying the person who dies his civil or her civil rights and lock him up to send a message about getting the crime down in your cities.
Absolutely. What can I say? That was fire! Absolute fire. And since we're on Brandon Johnson here, and we're on Chicago, I have a clip here that has gone very, very viral, and it speaks about Mayor Johnson and his, how can I say, his ploy to save illegal immigrants and their complex housing, which in turn threatening to close Chicago schools. I want you guys to take a look at what this black man is saying, because it kind of goes into exactly what we're talking about, and I think you guys will kind of I know you'll agree with it. I just want to put this out there. The language is pretty colorful, all right? I just want to put that as a warning. Colorful language. Here we go.
Somebody tell that old bitch ass nigga that's the mayor in Chicago, he loved the fucking immigrants so much he just put the school system in $734 million worth of debt. Now the kids are being threatened not to even go to school next year. Because you love the motherfucking immigrants, you pussy bitch. I can't stand niggas like that. You don't give a fuck about your community. And you black. And your whole thing is, I'ma stand up for the illegals. I'ma stand up for the illegals. I'ma stand up for these people. What about your people, you bitch, pussy bitch? I wanna slap the fuck out your pussy ass. On my soul. Somebody call Mayor Johnson and tell that bitch to get at me. You about to have these kids not even going to school next year, you pussy bitch.
Wow. So there you go. You got a black man upset. He's saying that the mayor of Chicago has put the school system in $734 million worth of debt. Okay. Now, I went and looked up his claim, and apparently his claim is true. and threatening not even to open the schools and do alternative school and online school and stuff like that. Man, what do you say to that? Mayor Johnson ain't doing well. What do you say before we move forward?
Mayor Johnson doing exactly what them white liberals cracked that whip and told him to do. Just because they put a black face on it still don't mean. Isn't that what they say to us, Jermaine?
Yeah.
Just because you put a black face on it still don't mean it's white supremacy. Just because you put a black face on it still don't mean it's white supremacy. Okay, well, just because you put a black face in it still don't mean it ain't white liberalism. Brad Johnson is a white liberal.
Yeah.
He just in blackface.
He just in blackface. That's it. And you see how mad that Negro was, Jamal? I bet he will still vote for the Democrat Party. Tell me I'm lying. He over here, Jamal, he gonna still vote for the Democrat Party. All that jumping and cussing he was doing, and
not
all
him.
Them, and all them niggas coming out his mouth. Let me tell you something. He's still going to vote for the Democrat Party.
I don't know, not him, Jermaine, because I follow his content. He is somebody is like, he ain't playing. I doubt him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, we're on our final segment here. And we're going to be speaking about the Epstein Hell. Oh, yeah. Epstein, man, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And I bet you he's probably on his island. He probably is. The rich folks got him out of there. He's in his island chilling. I want you guys to take a look at this. Epstein survivors share horrifying stories from the Capitol. And of course, you know, CNN was front and center. you know, right? Let me go ahead and run it. Here we go.
Good morning. My name is Anushka DeGiorgio, and I stand before you today as a survivor of both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I want to thank Congressman Massey and Khanna for their role in putting together this very, very important bill. Every day of this journey toward healing has come at a profound cost to my mental health. But I am here. I chose to come because this bill really matters. I speak today not only in service of my own recovery from trauma inflicted by Maxwell and Epstein, but to honor the lives, the courage and sacrifices of Virginia Giuffre, Caroline Andriano, and others who could not continue. Their voices mattered. Their stories must not be forgotten. Accountability is what makes a society civilized. Equal opportunity and equal consequence for all. Consequences are not about punishment alone.
Wow.
They exist to deter future harm, to protect
right here now.
Vulnerable, and to set...
This conference here was very long, okay? Very strenuous on the ears as well. Okay, I just want to put that out there. If you're into listening to the survivors speak out, let me tell you something. You can go to CNN. They have several clips there. All right. You probably Fox News as well. Well, I didn't see that many on Fox, but CNN definitely, MSNBC and CNN in there. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of them. So they're out here speaking, and they're putting this information out. The House committee in Congress, they released some of the Epstein files as well. Now, there's a young woman, well, yeah, I guess I just gave her respect. There's a young woman by the name of Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, I know, right? I done gave her respect, and she's not very respectable. You know, gosh darn it. You know, that's what happens when you're raised with manners. You know, it's just automatic, you know. Well, this young woman here, see, there it goes again. Jasmine Crockett, Ratchet Crockett. All right, let's get back into it. She's discussing what was said. I want you guys to listen to what she's saying, because this is the main reason, in a sense, I believe it came out. I want you guys to listen to this. Here we go.
Thank you so much. And first of all, let me just say that we are standing before you. We're having this conversation because of the oversight Democratic leadership. And so I want to reiterate that it's the Democratic leadership on oversight that has truly been able to move this forward. I'm sure many of you don't recall, but we were sent home early to try to avoid being able to take a vote on something like getting these files. We are about doing real transparency. We don't care who's in the files. We are going after you. So if I had to sum up what happened today, we heard the stories of victims, and honestly, we heard the story of at least one person that has never come forward before today. This was the very first time that she was telling anyone in a semi-public way her story. And if I had to summarize the theme, I would say that their theme was to do something. It is probably the theme of the American people in general right now when it comes to government, is that they want us to do something. So yes, we have the roundtable, but they actually want to see some action.
See, that's that alien talk. 90s, that wasn't me. That's her.
About what happened to them in the 90s. But then you go down the line and you've got somebody that's telling us their story.
Yeah, you see how her voice screwed up? Yeah, that's that alien talk.
Years and years of abuse that did not have to take place. And so the reality is this. Some think that this is all over, and some think that nothing else is going on. But if there was ever a RICO case, it would have been the Epstein case. So how we went from something that should have been RICO because of how sophisticated of a system this was, and this wasn't just one little sick old man that was doing stuff, but there were so many layers, whether we're talking about the banks that were involved, whether we're talking about those that worked for him, that helped him, whether we're talking about the monster known as Maxwell, and that's exactly how y'all need to refer to her. She is a monster. She is not a victim. So let me tell you, I want some action items to come out of this, because for once we somewhat look like we're bipartisan in the Oversight Committee. Number one, we need answers. We need answers on why it is that Maxwell was transferred from her current station or her former station in Florida.
And I want to stop it right here.
Need to have an
so there you
because
go.
Everything that I heard,
you have Jasmine Crockett, okay, Ratchet Crockett, and she's saying that the Epstein files and the victims coming out is all because of the House Democrats. This is what she's saying, Jamal. She's saying without the House Democrats, this wouldn't have came out. And she's saying this is not bipartisan. Okay, so she's saying it's not both sides of the aisle. It's just them pushing this out. Jamal, in your humble estimation, why do you think it's just, the House Democrats right now pushing this out? And how come, if this was so damn important, how come they didn't do it when, the other guy was there, Slippy Joe, the one that apparently can be in the bunker for a month and nobody say nothing. But when President Trump is gone for 2 days, they believe he's dead. Ain't that nuts? Go ahead.
Because the Democrat Party are the most slow down, dirtiest, sneakiest, rotten, slimiest snakes you can get, but they're smart. Republicans are dumb as hell. Excuse my term. The Republican Party, they kept wanting to push this because they thought they was going to this big conspiracies and all these Epstein list stuff because it tickled their fancies. The Democrat Party had every chance to do something about this when they were in office.
Yep.
They did. Now you release the paperwork. Like Donald Trump said, I don't release 34,000. Yes, it's a hoax. This has become a hoax because what they are trying to do is trying to pit Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. This is what it's all about. They keep trying, and Thomas Massie is one of those conservative of the conservatives of the conservatives.
Yeah, Thomas Massie. Yeah, he's in there.
Who just want to sit here and toot his own horn to try to bring a party. He is no different than Liz Cheney. People got to face Tom Massie is no different than Liz Cheney. And all these other Republicans that we got to save the Republican Party from this is not the Republican Party I'm used to. This is not the Republican Party that what the heck are we standing up fighting? We should be grabbing our ankles and slapping our butt cheeks with Vaseline.
Yep.
And getting screwed.
You ain't lying about that.
That's what the Republican Party is used to. Donald Trump stopped the Republican Party from getting screwed, and he started making them fight. All this, if you heard them, they keep trying to find Donald Trump somewhere, somehow in this. And Donald Trump said this is a hoax. And yes, some of our people are stupid and dumb because they want to believe this Epstein, it was all this. And here is the thing. Epstein, they said, was asleep with these young girls. And when they got to 19 and 20, he passed them off. Hey, you go this way. Now, that's not pedophilia. It's not a crime. That's number one. If men were sleeping with women 19 and 20, that's not a crime. That's number one. Number two, some of those people, how do we know they want part of it doing it too? Because I'm going to say something that's uncomfortable and don't care who feelings I hurt. There are some fast little girls out here. There are some women out here who know that 17, 16, they are developed and they will do whatever they can to trap a man, and they use Jeffrey Epstein like he used them.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, they saw
gonna
it
give me
as
money,
an
I'm gonna spread them
opportunity.
legs. Them girls will do it.
They saw it as an opportunity to rise and get what they wanted, and they saw him as being powerful. Okay, it's not he didn't until you show me some people he trapped off drug and had raped. That's different. But a lot of them young girls wanted to go to the clubs, wanted to drink the wine, and wanted to party.
Yep. That's why I have an issue with a lot of the stuff that's going on here in America. And that's why I tell men to stop being pussies. Because without men standing up and saying stuff like what you just said, that type of bullshit will keep going on. Where women will sit there and act as if they're perpetual victims all day long. And women know what I'm talking about. They absolutely do. That's why I tell the guys, stop playing around with the females. They know exactly what's going on. They very smart. They're very smart and cunning, let me tell y'all. Yeah, and when it comes to speaking nasty, you want to know who speaks the nastiest? Females. You go ahead and sit back and you just listen to women talk. It will blow your mind. Yeah. So guys got to get out of that mind frame where you're so scared of emotional backlash. You got to stop it. A lot of these young women who are growing up, we're in the age of whores. I don't care who get mad. You see the OnlyFans that is up there? Yeah, a lot of women got OnlyFans.
18 years old?
They're spreading their butt cheeks. They're showing their cookies. They're selling foot pics. They're selling chest pics. They're doing everything nowadays. Women have made it so that the American market right now is transactional. Okay, it's almost like you could go and buy a woman. Yeah. And these young women nowadays, they know that the only way for them to get fabulous and glamorous and to be like people like Cardi B is to sell your body. So, yeah, who are they going to go to? They're not going to go to the young guys. The young guys ain't got no money. They just want to screw. Yeah, the young guys ain't got no money. They just want to screw. They're going to go to the older guys. Yeah, hey, can you buy me this Birkin bag? Oh, you want me to get on my knees for a half hour? Yeah, I'll do it. And then she'll go ahead and do it, and then she'll go and tell her friend, and her friend will come and do it too. Yeah, that's how crazy it is. So that's why I don't like to sit here and, act as if, oh my goodness gracious, the women actually do that? Yo, we're not going to act like we naive. That's exactly what's going on. And a lot of the women that were with Ghislaine Maxwell and those type of folks, that's what they do. It's the same thing when we spoke about Diddy, right? People want to be mad about Diddy and this, that, and the third. Diddy was able to drag a woman in a hotel room and still bang her. Yeah, I want the women to understand. Women know what I'm talking about. That's why the older ones understand it, and they understand the game, and they're a lot more honest than the younger ones. The younger ones ain't that honest. But the older ones know what I'm talking about. Diddy was able to drag Cassie from that hotel room, and he was still able to bang her. And he was still able, months and years later, able to still sleep with her. Even received a call. Actually, she called, her now husband while she was having sex with Diddy.
Yep.
And this was after that moment. And why do you think Cassie stayed, right? With the fake females out there, the ones that love to cling on to being a victim, you know what they say? Oh, Jermain, she was scared. She was scared with all that money that was flowing down to her. She was so scared, Jermain, she didn't want to go and tell. She was going to lose out on her opportunity, Jermain. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on. That's not right. Right? I know. But that's the way the world is. So that's why I said you can get mad at Diddy all you want, but he's not guilty. Yeah, women gonna have to start using good morals. Yeah, I know, right? The age of horrors has screwed up a lot of females' how can I say, perception of reality. Yeah, you're going to have to come back to good morals. Yeah, that means that you don't sleep with bad boys and use them for money and then cry victim. Yeah, you just don't. Good women don't do that. Right? They see a bad boy, he's a bad boy. I don't care how much money he has. I'm not going to sleep with him just because he has money and just use him because he has money and he's using me. Right? Yeah. So that's what it comes down to. Last words on this here, sir.
You know what, Jermaine? I'm going to say this right now. There was a real popular show on television called Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Game of Thrones, they married Sansa, the girl, to Tyrion Lannister. He was supposed to be the young. You know how old she was? 14. Marrying up to a man 27, 28. People need to understand this thing about girls 16 and 15 messing with men 24 and 25 and stuff like that. That's older than the term statutory rape. At one time, if a woman flowered, if she flowered, she was considered able to have sex. Now, of course, you wouldn't sit here and let people that shun a 60-year-old man marrying a 15, 16, but they did it. They were powerful. This age stuff now, you can't, she's 13, 14, he's 26. At one time, people got married at that age.
Oh, yeah.
They got married. 13-year-old girls, 14-year-old got married.
Especially in the times of Jesus. You better believe it. You better go look it up.
Even after then, I'm talking America 1860, 1850, 1840s. Okay? But my point is, there are some of these young girls that, yes, he was a monster. However, you ever seen the movie Deep Blue Sea? Remember, it was a woman that was working on that shark's mind that altered his mind as well and created him.
Yeah.
Some of these girls, these women, they trying to make victims. They are purposefully just trying to sit here and get at Trump. And once these reporters and politicians, Democrats, who all 4 years of Joe Biden didn't want to talk about it, now you want to. Now you want to, every time you keep turning around, ask about Trump. Well, try to ask about Trump, and these people coming out saying Trump was never inappropriate with us. Trump was never inappropriate with us. Once I keep hearing y'all answer that question, I don't believe it anymore, and I believe this is just an attack on Trump. That's it.
Absolutely. And just to put this into perspective here, President Trump calls the Epstein information that came out the Democrat hoax that never ends. I want you guys to listen to this here.
There have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massie, who was sponsoring a discharge position to get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. It reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C.
Wow. So President Trump says that it's a Democrat hoax. This is what he's saying. He's saying that it's a distraction, and the Democrats are trying to get them to speak about this and not speak about the things that he is doing here to save America. All right, so that's what it is. Brother,
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Agree.
And that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mamas. For coming out. I want to thank everybody for donating. All right. And hitting that like button and sharing. Absolutely. Brother, any last words for our beautiful crowd tonight here?
You know what, Jermain, actually sitting here and watching and looking at this stuff and hearing what they're doing, it's just, it gets to the point now. They will use anything to attack President Trump. And if something there, Joe Biden would have released anything with the Epstein files with Donald Trump years ago. Merrick Garland would have released it. And the way the Democrat Party keep acting, just got to get Trump. And these stupid Republicans, I'm just trying to uphold the Constitution. Yeah. This is the reason why the Democrats win. And there are some people who like to puff their chest up. Constitutional Republican. And then you sit there and you was Constitutional Republic. Government should stay out of marriage. How did we get here with the transgender? Because you open up the door through marriage.
Yeah.
The gay marriage. You opened that door, and that came through the door too. So, Jermain, another awesome show. Thank you for having me. Sorry about the hiccups again. Sorry about the hiccups.
Absolutely.
Please forgive me about the hiccups. But Jermain, it's just it's to the point now to where it's crazy. It's to the point now to where Republicans fell right into the Democrats' trap. They needed something to talk about other than their violent Democrat cities.
Absolutely. You know, I don't believe that there's anything, you know, with these files right now. You know, I used to think that there was something in there, but now I'm thinking that, you know, since the Democrats had 4 years with the file and stuff like that, they were able to take in whatever they want from the file, put in whatever they want, take out whatever they want. And for them to be putting it out now and saying it's just them pushing it, it seems to me that there's something behind this here. It is.
Of course.
And in my humble estimation, I think that they're doing exactly what President Trump is saying. They're trying to distract from what he's doing. And later on, I think that they're going to try to, falsely accuse him of something. And this is what I'm thinking. But who knows? There's a lot of moving parts with this. So I want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming out here and hanging out with us. Awesome show tonight. Brother, I want to thank you as well. We really do appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. And,
of course,
giving us your good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you as well. I know you guys have plenty of stuff to do, but you came here and hung out with us to speak about, the things that are near and dear to our heart here. So you guys take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. And we'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. Double Barrel J Wednesdays. You guys take care. We love you. And good night. Bye-bye.
King Mary.